finishing my shotgun. There's quite a bit to go, but well, I'm going to be painting, so I forgot to mute the feedback. Oops. I'm okay with listening to myself and not that much delay. So yeah, usually I can't stream on like day 5, but hey, this time I can. So, basically full design wise, it's, oh, okay. Going back to the basic design, this section here is black as well as the raised bits of this, but those bits there are still silver. The head of the hammer is sort of off pinkish silver, and these sections at the back here as well as along there, I believe, look like they're made out of stainless, so I'm going to paint them to be stainless. And of course this section is going to be black, and this is red and white. And that reminds me that I forgot to get red and white. I was planning to do this in like 8 days. I like planned to have another week before I did this, so. This white, this red. Now first off, I have no pinky silver, like at all. I've never had pinky silver. It's not really a colour that they actually sell, so first off I have to slip that away. Right. Also, that may look like it's painted properly. It really isn't. It's patchy. It's really badly patchy, so first off I have to put in some silver. That should be enough for what we're doing. And this pink goes on so thin that you can just use it to add a pink accent. But I don't want to do that with it because it always ends up with nasty brush strokes, everything else. But look how thin that pink is. I mean, I've used it in the past, and I mean, if you just put that pink in on its own, it comes out like this. And even on this camera, you can see the brush strokes where I've tried to keep it straight, and it just, or keep it the same thickness. Straight? It's not the right word. So I've tried to keep it around the same thickness, and it's just having none of it. So you can just get enough pink in there to get what you want. It's a lot of mixing, and I really don't think that camera is capable of picking up enough colour to see this accurately. But it is starting to turn pink. It's sort of pinky off purple compared to the plain silver that it started off as. But it's also, let's say, my screenshots are literally in my camera, it's the screen, so. not that bothered by it being so inaccurate, but yeah, it sort of turns out to be like a pinky purpley. That's actually really close. Of course, I'm using a quite smaller brush this time compared to when I was doing the full coat of the whole thing. And that's because I don't need the big brush. I'm not doing a big area this time. Now, like I did last time, I'm going to do half of it, and the front, you know, anything that won't be touching a surface. It's metallic pink, I cannot complain. This is what I'd paint it anyway. Now, as with painting large models, it's easier to do this before it all goes together. There's less chance getting paint when you don't want it, and so I'm enjoying this whole thickness thing. That's going on really well. But yeah, it's been recorded on a webcam. There's not much chance of getting all the proper colour in, but you get the silver, you get the pinky silver. Down to the fact this silver has bits of glitter in it to make it look more metallic. It turns out to be metallic silver or metallic pink. To note, it looks pretty good. I did consider spraying this on, but I think this actually works better this way. Yeah, it works better this way. Just run around and do the rest. And as you can see, I got very little on the white, which was sort of the point. But you can see there a little bit, actually Yeah, you can see a little bit there where I got some colour on it that I shouldn't have. Whoops. Oh well. I mean, it's fine. So there goes it. So I put my pinky purple over there. I mean, black is the easiest to do, but also should be done last because it's so strong. So when it comes to painting, black is one of the strongest things you can do. It runs nice for a little bit, then blocks up all the time. I don't know why. This time I'm going to need a larger one because I'm doing a huge area with it. I mean, this is easier. Huh. I mean, I can see no real reason why it would fail to put the paint out. But see, came out fine there. Okay, so there is a lot in there. So this is gold. If you've ever seen proper stainless, it's a slightly gold. It's slightly gold, not like proper silver. That's probably too much, but we'll see when we mix it. Now the alternative to this is to go over the silver over a really thin coat. Because it still looks silver from a distance, you wouldn't be able to tell there's any gold in it. And it's not gold, it's the difference in the material from the standard, it's like grey or steel. But you can tell the difference just by looking at it after so long. I've had to work for it enough, like in work, to know. And that's sort of close. I mean, I'm also trying not to waste a ton of paint. That's the other thing. So there we end up with that side being slightly off color. Okay, so we've got some mix there that's about the right color. So we're just going to go over everything down to here, I believe. I don't know if it actually covers where the plastic is. Yeah, that covers down to here. Yeah, all the pictures and all the different lighting that I have agree that it's slightly darker. So I'm just going to decide that it's stainless. It could well just be the scene I took the picture in. That's the other problem, because I don't have it neutral. But this remains proper steel. Let's go stainless. Why is there paint on it? It's close enough. Unfortunately, because I got distracted, you know how easily that happens, but unfortunately, I don't think that camera is even close to picking up the slight variation in color between these. So this may well just seem completely pointless, which I get. But I do think turning the main body of it stainless is pretty cool. And it's still taking full effect of the chroming underneath, so. And I think making it look slightly more stainless makes it, you know, that little bit less futuristic and more, it could happen. And flip that round avoid smashing the light for the 5,000th time. Be more careful about where you put it so it's actually in shot. I think it's starting to pick up the difference now. But just to make it clear, that's the slightly covered with gold side, and that's standard. But it does look green on that camera. Looks a little bit too strong on the gold, if anything. Let's go back to the photos. Yeah, it's a chip out right. go through. I mean, we could just coat it, it'll be fine. The worst happens is I change my mind and we go back to silver with another paint coat. I did like the idea of showing some material variation. And just move that. Thing is, though, the resistive brake I've got, or the friction brake I've got in place, is just a little bit too strong. Well, a little bit too weak in this case, it's barely even stopping it anymore. So I'm going to have to go in later and put in an extra little bit of material, hold it in place. I mean, it's easy enough to do, just add like another 2 mil and it'll hold. Yeah, I think I just have too much gold in this, which seems to be the problem. Just paint one of them down, get as far as we're going to go. Then I can do a comparison, just see if I like it. So we have this, and that's the in plain silver, and that's it with the gold. I think it may not show up properly on camera, but I think that gold's a bit too strong. So how do I solve that? Well, we mix it down. Let's give that a go. It does actually look better. Oh, time to go over again. It's going to take all day to dry because of the way I've done this, but now it doesn't make much difference, but is just a little bit stronger with silver. So, okay. I'm not painting the handle yet. Yeah, it looks better. I can deal with that. I mean, the worst that happens is I have to come back with chrome, right? I also don't think it was helped by the fact that I'd already painted it one colour, because then that colour's been absorbed in, making it a little bit weaker. But it will be okay. Just mixed up a little bit. Tiny little splodge of red. That'll do. I have to find some way to get that down there. It's okay, none of the wet bits are facing down, we'll be fine. And get some white. That's so close to empty, I'm just going to go for the other one. That's going to require a much smaller brush. Just go around, just do one star, just do the paint coat. Just, you know, careful and slowly paint. Okay, and get the other side. I mean, it's just painting, so I may have to repaint this because that's red. It's quite dull, but it works. So I'm not going to complain for now. Oh, it's mixing in a mess. The red's mixing in and messing up the white, but Because white's a really hard colour to keep. Oh no, 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 don't do that. Okay, and paint it on. Still keep some shininess from the silver underneath, which is what I'd have wanted anyway, so no problem. Now the problem is, in all of this, I don't actually, well, I don't really have anywhere specifically for silver. Because I need to go over this, at least the chain section, because it's sort of a big crap. A decently sized brush. Too big. I've just got to get inside all of these links because, you know, it's so much easier with an appropriately sized brush. When I was doing this the other day, I just went in wild with whatever I had, which is good for a basic coat, just to get the gist of what colour it's supposed to be, but never something I'd advise. So you just go through slowly, make sure you get the whole thing. That's the thing, when you see costumes and props at conventions, it's really difficult to understand just how much time and effort somebody put into one of these. I think at the moment we're probably coming up on 11 hours, I think, spent on this. I mean, I am not done yet, because does this thing look painted? I mean, that's just to add a little chain to the end of something. Okay, I'm not likely to have to come back to that anytime soon, so... Also, with how obscenely wasteful I am, every one of these, the second that I've used the paint, well, second I've used the brush, I'm chucking them in the pot, so, I mean, it's filling up. But that way the pot survives the paint and we'll be okay. So this part, the blade, I'm going at 90 degrees to the paint I did last time, just to give it a more even finish. I mean, the second coat never requires so much paint as the first. Oof, keep away from the paint. I really don't want to get dunked in something, because then I'd have to repaint entirely. So much work. So I can afford to bring that down to there. And ultimately, I'm spending so long painting this, just to give all of that time to dry so I can flick it over. Yeah, at the moment, I gotta say, it shows up quite effectively on camera, the amount, or the difference in the paints. So. But yeah, you can still see bits of the foam through it before I do this, so it definitely needed doing. Okay, and that's that done. Let's get this ring. Okay, and go over this a little bit. I mean, ultimately, this coat, that little bit I've got on the pot or on the tray is more than enough for what I'm doing. Which, with the ridiculous amount I've used for that and that, when you do a first paint coat, it's going to go on really thick. Here's the second. No, you're fine. Unfortunately, that is still really wet, but it'll be sitting on this bit, which is dry. I hope. Can I, like, hold that up with something? So let's just get this bit first. Oh no. Well, I'm glad that didn't have much on it. Shit. Well, you know what just happened? Blade went straight in the pink. which means I've now got to clean it somehow. First of all, I've got to get all of the pink off. If I had anything else to use, I'd be using it. Just go over it with silver and we'll be okay. I think there's going to be like a little pink stain there forever for that. It's fine. I don't mind pink. I mean, I like the colour, so I'm not that bothered, but oh well. One of those things, if you watch the stream, you'll be aware of it. Oh wait, it's just me here. Yes. Oh wait, still live for 14 days afterwards. So there you go. If you saw this, you saw where I messed up. Now I'm going to need to put some more silver on for this, because I'm going to run out. Okay, and it's just amazing the small amount of paint and the sheer amount I'm wasting of making gold right. Whoops. Oh well. Okay, I think I got that bit. Go through, make sure you've got any areas that you missed on the previous round. Just go across again, get some more. Ultimately, I don't know where the back of this is scalpel blade. I don't know why they would have designed it like this, but what the designers did, so I've got to follow them. Well, not always. I mean, sometimes you just get to redesign it yourself entirely. It's usually where the designers didn't bother finishing something, but okay, so that's the blade done. That's somebody with a straight through exhaust going past. Yep, everyone heard you. So as long as I'm here, I may as well get this section and redo that in the silver. I think, yeah. It's okay, I can revisit all that later anyway. So now we need a big brush. That one's big enough. I believe when I did the last paint coat, I'd picked random directions. So there is no way to directly go against the old grain. I have some tests to do before I can paint over this white bit though, because I want to make sure that the light will still be coming out of it when it's done. Because I mean, if I just paint over it and the light doesn't come out, then I've sort of wasted a lot of time. And the thing is though, once you've blocked the light from coming back out of a light or a light emitting bit, there is no way to solve that. You have to dismantle it, replace all the materials, everything else. I know I make it sound relatively easy, but we're talking several hours work. And I, for one, am too lazy to put in several hours work just because I didn't bother doing a short experiment. Okay, so that's gone slightly off colour. Let's mix some more. This is the problem when you only mix a small amount. You end up with it being completely off colour from the rest of it. I think I reached the end of what I've mixed. Also looking at literally just gradations of silver really does not help my vision. So, ooh, here's some silver, here's some more silver, here's another silver. Yeah. Okay, I can now see bits that I missed. That's working much nicer now. I think it's actually nicer on this side as well, the lighter colour. See, I think this is actually starting to look better, but I mean, you can't really tell because, you know, webcam quality's notoriously trash. But I've got everywhere I can with that, so. To the question, am I going to run out of brushes? No. Where can I even touch? I would say these colours look a lot better. Yeah. Yeah, I want to keep seeing how much better these colours look not on that camera. And I'll post pictures done with a proper camera later. Oof, that is looking very odd colours at the moment. So we have all of that. Unfortunately, I forgot to do this bit with the plain silver when I was there. So mean, yeah, when it comes to painting, there's a lot of this to do. So, I mean, you can see that sort of grey, goldy, but I think it's supposed to be more this side, so I'm going to wait for it to dry and go through it all again. For like the 9th time. Yeah, I prefer this side with it. You can still see the gold in reality, but I mean, that does not help. It just makes everything glary. And yes, I did just turn my light upside down. So let's get a little bit of black, so because we still need to go over that with black and go over these a bit. Now this is like, this is the one you put on last because it's I've tried to mix this stuff to make it like not, or make it slightly lighter because I was trying to make grey. One small dot of black managed to turn the entire, basically one small dot of black turned the entire like can of white black. It's quite impressive, but from that point on I bought grey. But as you can see, compared to every other colour when I'm painting over, this is just like, oh what, you've just put like a tiny thin layer on? Yep, it's black. It's very good, but it does mean if you get a single spot in the wrong place, too late now. You basically start from the priming again. Okay, that's that bit done. Oof. Nope, do not go that close to my fingers. Thank you. And the second this gets on my fingers, for as long as it's wet, it just transfers everywhere. little bit. Get this bit around the end. Oh, that's way too much paint. Okay, and that bit there's also been painted black. So last up is to get this bit and the equivalent bit on the other side. And then to the handle, at which point I can't touch it anymore. It's like, genuinely, once I've got this, I cannot touch any of it anymore. Now, of course, be very careful because, as I've explained previously, black transfers like there's no tomorrow, and I've got to get the bit inside white to allow colour to go through. Okay, I think I'll keep it like that. Now, basically, you've got to cut it in, but you've got to be really careful cutting in because, you know, potency of colour. Okay, I did have another idea which involves putting a little dome on top of there. I think it works better because this surface is not really busy enough as it currently is. But let's flip you around to the far more that's ready soon. Oh god, there's so much paint in here. So yeah, I can run one last coat over this now, and hopefully I can reduce the you know, amount of gold in it. I mean, otherwise I'm going to have to do a lot of work and take it back to silver. It's not like I'm not capable of doing that, but... Okay, it's not going, is it? work because yeah, actually no, it's not gonna work. It doesn't look that bad, but okay, it all looks about right now. Okay, let's flip it one last time. Yeah, this side's still way stronger than the other. Okay, it's worth a shot, okay? So we go through running some more colour like this. I think I might do that dome in the end as well. I have a bad feeling I'm going to be going over this whole side again. And probably the whole thing again to repaint. Which is fine. When you're making props, you always have to be aware that you might completely and utterly screw the whole thing up and have to start the paint job again. You know, you just make one colour mistake at the start and that's it. Your entire thing has to be done again. That's not you complaining, that's just like just how it runs. But then again, this is going to be a wall decoration, so do we really need to bother? Unfortunately, the camera position here, the hammer's now off the end of the table. Get a thin layer of black because I cannot touch this thing. I mean, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get this back safely on the desk after this. And as we know, the whole thing is now wet. I can't turn it by the chain, so just paint myself into a corner. That sounds like the best idea, right? Do note, this is not the first time I've tried this project. I first tried it back in 2015. So it's a good 5 years experience difference between now and then. I believe this section I'm doing now, I attempted to make out of a plant pot. Just nothing fancy, just literally stick a plant pot on the end. I never finished it because it was too hard. When you're talking about somebody whose skill basically constitutes sticking a plant pot on the end of a plastic pipe, you're gonna sort of not succeed at a project like this. But just because you're unlikely to succeed is not a reason not to try. If I hadn't done that back then, I probably would never have tried this now. Yeah. I mean, this is still a bit of a mess, but I'm okay with that. You just need to remember that at conventions, the only people who are going to be going for a real close-up look at your weapon are, well, have a look at your props, are judges and jerks. But, I mean, jerks are jerks. They're just going to find something to attack about your costume regardless. Heck, there are some stories from back in the day where I've had people come up and just go, oh, the holes in your sword aren't big enough. It's completely ruining it. It's just like, oh, sorry, is this like 6-foot massive sword not good enough because the holes aren't 100% correct? And you can go away, and you can go away. And unfortunately, that's pretty much all I can do, down to the fact that I'll chip one little bit more. So I'm just going around the silver bits on here with the mixed silver and gold. Just be careful around the black because it mixes. Again, if this wasn't on stream, I would probably wait like 24 hours before going anywhere near black. And, well, that was surprisingly close to time for me. Oh, I can see a patch that looks bad on the hammerhead. Okay, so you're not going to be able to see this because I can't move it because of all drying stuff. And you can see here where it's been transferring. Ugh. The thing is though, this exact like mix of pink is going to be gone, and so is the exact mix of gold and everything else next time, so you may as well get as much done as you can, then come back, right? Right. So with that, I'm going to finish up because I've painted everything I can. I'll be back next time. Hopefully only little bits of coating to go. I'm definitely considering putting a dome on the side of that bit on the hammerhead because it just looks too flat and I don't like it. So, thanks for coming to the painting and bye.